So you're thinking about snagging a deal on a used electric car? Smart move. But there's that nagging question in the back of your mind, right? Am I just buying someone else's headache? Well, you're not alone in wondering that. Today, we're going to get to the bottom of the biggest question out there. Are used EVs actually reliable? Let's find out together.
It really is the elephant in the room, isn't it? We all hear the concerns. What's the deal with the battery after a few years? Is it going to die on me? Is it a total nightmare to maintain? And honestly, what's it really going to be worth down the line? Look, these are all totally valid questions, and getting a straight, data-backed answer can feel, well, pretty much impossible. Until now.
Because today, we've got answers. And they come from one of the most respected, most thorough sources you can find, the latest TÜV-Report from Germany. Now, this isn't based on opinions or what someone posted online. We're talking hard data from 9.5 million real-world vehicle inspections. So, what did they discover?
What's great is that the report's main conclusion is surprisingly direct. I mean, after crunching all that data, a really clear picture emerges about how electric vehicles stack up against their good old gasoline and diesel cousins.
And here it is, the big reveal. According to the TÜV, used electric cars are just as reliable and, in a lot of cases, even more reliable than traditional combustion engine cars. The core tech, the electric motors and the batteries, they're proving to be incredibly solid. But, and you knew there was a but, that's not the whole story.
So, while the big picture is definitely positive, the report does flag some specific areas where EVs seem to have a few consistent weak spots. And if you're a potential buyer, you absolutely need to know what these are. So let's break down exactly what the inspectors kept finding.
Right, so across the board, 3 things kept popping up as problem areas for electric vehicles: the brakes, the suspension and chassis, and the lighting systems. Now, what's really fascinating here is why these specific parts are the ones causing trouble.
And the main culprit is weight. It all comes down to weight. Those huge, heavy battery packs put a ton of constant strain on all the mechanical bits. The suspension has to work way harder. And here's a weird one. Because of regenerative braking, the actual physical brake pads and discs don't get used as much. That sounds good, but it can actually lead to rust or them seizing up if they're not looked after properly. And this quote from Jürgen Volz at TÜV Süd just hits the nail on the head. He points out that these aren't really electric car problems. They're just car problems. It's a fantastic reminder that a car's reliability isn't just about the engine or motor. It's about the whole package and, crucially, how well it's been maintained. Okay, let's get to the part you've probably been waiting for. The really practical stuff. The actual rankings. This is where we see which specific models are just acing their inspections and which ones, well, really aren't.
Okay, just look at the incredible range on this chart. It's kind of wild. Up at the top, you have these absolute rock stars like the Mini Cooper SE with a tiny 3.5% failure rate. The Audi Q4 e-tron and Fiat 500e are also crushing it, ranking 8th and 11th among all cars, not just EVs. But then you look all the way down at the bottom. The super popular Tesla Model Y with a failure rate of 17.3%, putting it dead last. Overall,
This chart just makes that difference so much more dramatic. You can just see that massive gap between the Mini's fantastic score and where the Model Y ended up. This is proof positive that you can't just talk about EV reliability as if it's one single thing. The specific car you choose makes all the difference in the world.
The success of cars like the Fiat 500e and that Audi Q4 e-tron is genuinely fantastic news for everyone. It shows that car makers absolutely know how to build extremely reliable electric vehicles that perform beautifully in the real world. This isn't some promise about the future, it's happening right now.
So what on earth happened with the Model Y? The TÜV report is crystal clear on this. It's not the electric motor. It's not the battery. The issues are exactly those weak spots we were just talking about, the brakes and the suspension, which are just struggling under the car's weight. It's a classic case of mechanical wear and tear, not an electric failure.
okay, we have thrown a lot of data at you, so let's boil it all down. What does this actually mean for you, the person who might be about to spend their hard-earned money on a used EV? Let's turn all this info into a simple, practical guide.
It really comes down to these 3 key takeaways. First, feel good about the core technology. The motors and batteries are solid. Second, you have to do your homework on the specific model. As we just saw, the brand and model are the single biggest factor. And third, treat it like any other car. Pay super close attention to the service history, especially for those brakes and the suspension.
So here's the bottom line. The whole debate, it's not really about electric versus gas anymore.
What this massive TÜV report shows is that the real secret to buying a reliable used car is simply choosing a well-built, well-cared-for model, no matter what's under the hood. The game has officially changed. Thanks so much for watching.